Shalom, when the start of souls by giving no praise to Yahweh, Bashem, Yahushua, Bashem, Kadash, double honors to the apostles of great Most High, and honors to brothers doing the work, the Most High in truth, and in sincerity. Yahweh's real name, of whom the word Agri calls God, Jehovah, Yahweh. His real name is Yahweh. His son's true name is Yahweh Shai, and when we pray Yahweh, Bashem, Yahushua, meaning in, meaning that, and Sham, meaning names, Yahweh, in the name of Yahweh Shai. This was published today, apparently, but the news has been out since the weekend. It says the press release: digital driving license coming this year. And once again, this is something that we keep speaking of. From the apostles on down. Just the fact that the infrastructure for this system is there. Okay. The infrastructure for this system is there. Let's just start with this real quick. I haven't really got any precepts. We'll see where the Spirit leads. Right, this is Mark 13 and 33. Take ye heed, watch and pray, for you know not when the time is. Okay, one of the things we've got to do is to watch what it is that these elites are doing. Watch what it is that he is doing in these different departments and governments and stuff like that. So at the end of 2024. Every visa in the UK became digital, and then now they're also moving to a digital driving license, and we're gonna just touch in the news as well of one of the things that this is going to be used for potentially, right? And when you look at the fact that the European Union is putting together an entry-exit system, right? So to enter into the EU, you're gonna have to give your passport and then your biometrics with that, and to leave, you're gonna have to do the same. Other countries have a similar process as well. The UK only has an entry system in terms of biometrics and stuff like that. Okay, and then when you're also looking at the way they're doing the CBDCs, you look at the way also that they are putting together the passports. Pretty much most passports now are biometric passports, right? You can already see the direction that we're going in. Okay, right? If the Lord is dealing with you, right, you know where this is leading to. Right, this is this is Proverbs 22 and 3, right? Pretty much says the same thing in 27 and 12. It says, a prudent man foreseeth the evil and hideth himself, but the simple pass on and are punished, right? So, in fact, let's look into this word here, prudent. Okay, it says Ira 1, it says subtle, shrewd, crafty. Right, sly, sensible. Okay, so this is on the right hand side. Okay, so a prudent man, one that is is able to kind of like to think things through and not to be simple. Okay, because this is it. When people see these things, right, they'll look and process it with simplicity, not understanding that this is a net, right, being placed for the people. Okay, so we continue on in the article, right? So the UK government is launching a gov.uk wallet and app to simplify access to services and documents like digital driver's licenses. And what have the apostles long said, right? That convenience is definitely going to be one of the things that are going to be used, right, to sell and market these different systems, right? So as these systems become more and more ubiquitously digital, okay, it's not going to take much to then say, actually, there's been a lot of fraud where, to make the system even more secure, we're going to do X, Y, Z. What is actually happening before your eyes is the systems are being created before your eyes. Just as what the example given, right, is during the CV, the technology behind the juice. Right, people were like, oh, it's rushed. But what was the rebuttal? No, we've been working on this technology for 10 years. The technology, beginning with M, okay, and ending in A, okay. They were basically saying, look, we've been working on this technology for a long time. But these times, when we're coming into, the next thing that they're looking to push, when you look at it, for instance, when you look at a city like London, London has long been ready, right, for the MOTB, right? And seeing as we looked at that word there, shrewd, a couple of moments ago, let's grab this. This is Genesis 3 from the top. It says, now the serpent was more subtle than any beast of the field, right? Iron, subtle, shrewd, crafty, sly, okay? Cunning, usually in a bad sense, right? So in this side, in this particular instance, we're referring to it from the left-hand perspective, okay? So this Edom is very shrewd, very cunning, right? Is very shrewd, very cunning. So he's laying out all of these traps, and he's laying them out in plain sight, right? Which is why ultimately we're gonna give a praise to the Most High for creating the perfect devil, right? The perfect deceiver, because he's gone out into the world and has deceived the nations, right? With philosophies of this, right? But also in the fact that he is making people move towards their own slavery and actually beg and ask for their own slavery. Okay? So it's another serpent was more subtle than any beast of the field which Yahweh had made. It says, and he said unto the woman, yea, hath the Most High said, ye shall not eat of every tree of the garden. Okay, so we've got the point that we wanted out of that. Right, but I wanted to get this as well. It's Ezekiel 33:33. So when this cometh to pass, lo, it will come. Then shall they know that a prophet hath been among them. Right, this is referring to the fact that the apostles, right, they've been speaking about these things. They've been speaking that convenience is going to be a major part of the push, right? And then of course it's then going to start coming out by by classifications. You're a this, so you get access. You're a that, so you get access. Even this, the way it's rolling out, we're about to read it, right, has a little bit of that, right? It says the Brits will be given the option to use a digital version of the driver license, of their driver's license, from their phone to easily prove their age when buying age-restricted items online and in person, right, as well as proving their right to drive. Right, so immediately, what's that? What are you effectively seeing there? That the websites, the web providers are gonna have to start, designing and building systems, right, that effectively able to look at your different IDs and stuff like that and be like, oh, you're so and so, you have the right to purchase this item. Now, right now, it's just for restricted items, but we understand, right? We just read that craft, we just read that shrewd, right? We understand, right? We know that these things are just, it's just step one, okay? But if the infrastructure is there for online purchases, if the infrastructure is there for in-person purchases, it's really nothing to then just say, oh, actually, for rations, you're only allowed to buy this, you're only allowed to buy that, okay? So a mobile driver's license will be one of the first digital documents in the Gov UK wallet launched later this year, and will ultimately allow people to prove their age from their phones in shops or online, this Science Secretary Peter Carl announced today. Right, it says it comes alongside other new and improved ways for people to interact with government digitally with an expansive blueprint, and it was bloody expansive. I mean, when you look at the scroll bar that small, right? I did ask the the robots to what do you call it? I did ask the robots to basically break it down and stuff, and just give a slight summary. All right, just pull it back on the screen. Just bear with me a sec. Making sure I ain't got anything on here. Yeah, just bear with me. Make sure I'm on the right place and stuff like that. Push it back here. A blueprint, right? So ask the robot, just for a summary. So the UK government has unveiled a comprehensive plan to modernise public services through digital transformation. Right, central to this initiative is the introduction of digital driving license, right, which will be stored in a new Gov UK digital wallet, accessible via smartphones. And to be fair, in the UK, your driving license is like second to your passport. Okay, if you want to do like domestic travel, you can use your driving license. I believe if you wanted to go island, because you've got Northern Ireland, which is part of the United Kingdom, which is the same passport. But if you wanted to go mainland, I say this both mainland, but if you wanted to go Ireland proper, there is a treaty where I believe you only need to show like your driving license. But other than that, the point is it's the second most powerful document besides your passport, right? If you want to prove your identity on most apps, it will either ask for your passport or ask for your driving license, right? Your passport, of course, being the ultimate. So it says this digital wallet aims to simplify identity verification for various services, including proving age and driving privileges, enhancing security measures such as facial recognition will protect these digital documents even if a device is lost, while digital license will be available. Physical documents remain an option for citizens for now. It says by the end of 2027, the government plans to integrate additional credentials into the digital wallet, such as veterans cards and criminal record checks. Right, and it was even just once again the fact that they're picking which to choose. Okay, so you get the general driving license, but then okay, your veteran cards. Then it will be this, and in fact, because the poll site says it a lot. Like this thing will be rolled out in stages, right? What would they say? The first will be like your police or your soldiers or whatever, right? And here as well, and criminal record checks. Right, so a new government app is set to launch in the summer of 2025, designed to streamline access to various services, including applying for childcare and reporting lost passports. Well, I'm just trying to see because it's quite even the summary is long. Because it was a very very long document. This one. It says, additionally, the government exploring the use of AI to enhance public services, a new digital center, etc., etc. Right. Yeah, and then once again, it comes into the whole thing about we'll use digital tools and data to transform public services and help the taxpayer benefit from $45 billion in efficiency savings. And that's one of the things through the spirit I remember like just meditating on about how a lot of these inefficiencies are actually somewhat built into the system, right? They're built into the system such that they can then come and say, oh, actually, there's a better way of doing this. And ultimately, all roads lead to that mark, okay? Let me just grab it, speaking quite a bit. This is Revelation 13 from 16. It says, and he calls it all, right? And when you're rolling out systems like this, right now, they're saying, oh, it's optional. It's optional, right? But what does the scripture say? This is Psalms 55 and 21. It says the words of his mouth were smoother than butter, but war was in his heart. Because he's rolling this out like, yeah, man, make your life easier. It will be better for you, XYZ, XYZ. But he understands that he's really setting up a he's really setting up a snare for the people, and ultimately for the children of Israel, right? Because we've been commanded not to take this mark, as we're about to read. It says that his words were softer than oil, yet were they drawn swords. So continuing back, which is Revelation 13:16, and he calls it all, and that literally means what it says. Right, so it's going to start off just, oh yeah, it's just these things, oh, it's optional, right? But just in the same way, the juicy juice was optional, right? What did they eventually try and do in certain places? They effectively mandated it. And then in other spheres, it's like what's optional, but if you don't get it, you can't do anything. Right? So you have a load of people that weren't with it, but because they wanted access to the system, guess what they did? They got on board with it, right? And that's what they're going to be doing with this MOTB to the point, that he's going to start forcing it upon people, but the elect are going to be okay, right? The elect are going to be protected, right? No matter which way, because he wants you to consent to this thing. Okay, declare him as as your God. All right, so the elect need not worry. All right, it says both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond. It says to receive a mark in their right hand or on their foreheads, and that no man might buy or sell. Right, and right now it's just it's restricted items. What did we read? Because the things I'd actually I'd seen it on this article, but it said that there's what UK said to introduce digital driving license. Right, where did I see it? Right, it says they will be accessed on a new government smartphone app and could be accepted as a form of ID when buying alcohol, voting, or boarding domestic flights. Okay, and then there was another one. was another statement to it. What was you doing there? So I was looking for the wrong thing. Right? The virtual license could be used at supermarket self-checkouts, the Times said, allowing customers to verify their own age without waiting for a member of staff. Right? And it's funny because I knew that I wanted to do this video, but I went to the shops at lunchtime and I was just waiting to pay for some yak. Right? I was doing did general shopping. I had some yak. And then I had to wait for like 3 or 4 minutes. I had to wait for a hot minute, and I was thinking, this is it, right? Here in the UK, you got a lot of shops, right, where you only have like 2 full tills, like where you can get your things packed by a cashier, right? Which they don't even pack. They've stopped packing like years ago. They just scan your stuff. But then like the rest will be self checkouts, okay? And then those self checkouts, you maybe have like 1 or 2 people working, and it's the most annoying thing, just waiting for them to come and to deal with your query, especially when it's just for the purposes of identity clearance. Okay, so once again, these plans are all, you know, they're cunning, as the scripture says. Right, this man is very cunning. Right, his heart is deep. Right, so finishes off, and he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads, and that no man might buy or sell, save he that had the mark, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name. So the thing is, right, you're gonna be left out of the system completely, right, if you don't have this mark. And that is the plan, right? They're gonna come in different ways, and even just reading this, right, 45 billion in efficiency savings. What has America just created? Right, they've just created or are planning to create via Trump, right? Doge, right? Department of Government Efficiency, right? And they're going to be looking for cost savings, right? So be not surprised if this year they start working on a similar technology as this, okay? And then the last bit was just this, a showcase in the tool earlier today. The Science Secretary set out that by end of 2027, the Gov UK wallet will include documents like Veterans Card, DBS checks, and every other credential issued by government for those who choose to use them, while traditional physical documents remain available, right? And the thing is, it's like, as you know, with all of these things, he'll say he'll throw those things out there, but really he just wants a system put together, right? He just wants a system put together, and that's what we're seeing right unfolding before our eyes, right? And then with the right crisis, we know what happens. So as always, laws without edifying, right? And in fact, last point, because the headline of this is a blueprint for a modern digital government, right? One of the countries, because we speak a lot about China and stuff like that, but one of the countries that is very much ready for the MOTB, if you look into it, is Estonia, right? It's referred to as one of the most digital governments in the world, if not the most digital government in the world, where people just have an identity number and they use that for pretty much everything. Okay, but as we're seeing, right, the UK is heading very, very, very much in that direction. So, as always, laws without edifying, right? Until the next time we say, Shalom.